Let's talk some Bubble Boys. All right, welcome back to the Onebar and Lupagus show. I'm Onebar with Lupagus. And this episode, we talk some Bubble Boys, a film that I have never seen and probably never will.
I haven't seen it either. We are on the cusp of training camp. A few more touches, and it's going to erupt with news and highlights. I cannot wait. Training camp is just about here, and it is time. Yes, we talked about some guys who could break out. Let's talk about some guys, beloved members of this team, who are on the roster bubble, may not even make it. That's where they are in their career, and they got to really show up if they're going to make this team before we hop in that. Remember, this video is brought to you by Liftbridge Brewing Company. Check out their stuff in your local liquor store. They have it all across the state of Minnesota. Absolutely delicious. The Mango Blonde is becoming a fast favorite of mine.
Yeah, I'll be grilling later, and I will definitely have a Liftbridge or two in my hand, double fisting, as everybody should, responsibly, of course.
Absolutely responsibly. All right, so let's hop into this. Some bubble players in the Minnesota Vikings. First one I want to start with is a guy I think it's all just hope. We were all so excited when we drafted him last year. Third round, expectation is through the roof. Everybody didn't pencil him as a starter. They put it in permanent marker. This guy would be starting. This guy didn't see a sniff. He was running with the threes in camp. It's Wyatt Davis, the guard from Ohio State.
Yeah, and we can't even really speculate like why he won't make. I mean, we have no idea. We didn't see him on the field. We can only go off of what we read. And the fact that it's a new regime, new coaching staff is not going to bode well for him, especially when all that stuff was coming out this offseason. Like some teams didn't even have this guy on their draft board, which is not good news. Everything points against him making the team. I will be a Wyatt Davis fan hoping he makes the team, but we don't even have anything to break down, like why he won't make the team.
No idea. We don't know what it was. Was he just not ready? Was he not healthy? Did he rub Mike Zimmer the wrong way, as most rookies do? We don't know. It's all speculation, like you said, but Wyatt Davis definitely on that roster bubble. Who you got next?
Who do I got next? Let's go to Troy Dye. Troy Dye, switching to that 3-4. He's still going to be nestled in as that inside linebacker, which maybe a 3-4 is a better fit for him because his big MO is he's athletic. His pass coverage abilities is what will have him make this team. But so far, let's be honest, Troy Dye has done Troy Dick.
Yeah, he's been Troy Bye. He just hasn't been around. Bye-bye. I don't see him on the field at all. He's just this tall, lanky dude. Doesn't look like a linebacker. But you look at the competition, really, I mean, who's me battling for the step spot? He's got rookie Brian Asamoah, who's probably going to be ahead of him because it's the new regime's boy. So I don't think he's going to beat out him. But then the rest, he's got a chance if he shows up. He's got Blake Lynch, who I do think is safe. But then Chaz Surratt, Troy Dye, one of those two is definitely going to be cut. And Troy Dye, it could be him. It probably will be him.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, the good thing, everybody on this list obviously is getting a fresh start, but Ed Donatel, he might just look at that pass coverage ability and need to have him because Jordan Hicks, it's not like pass coverage is really his bread and butter. So they're going to have need somebody out there on third downs. And maybe that's Asamoah. We'll see.
Jordan Hicks can do anything, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, he can. All right, next up, let's go to the cornerback position. Chris Boydie.
Chris Boyd, a lot more competition for Chris Boyd this year than he had a season ago. They went out, they got Shannon Sullivan, that dude from Denver, his name escapes me right. Hairston is also in the house. Brought back, what's his name? Perry Nickerson. So, I mean, there's a lot of guys here. Then you draft Andrew Booth Jr., you drafted Caleb Evans. So a lot more competition for Chris Boyd for a guy who really has only stood out on special teams. We've seen him make a couple good plays in coverage, but we also seen him make some absolutely boneheaded plays. Yes, this guy is definitely somebody you want to be around the locker room. He looks like a lot of fun, but the fact may just be he's just not a very good cornerback in the NFL.
Yeah, it's all about numbers. We added 4 cornerbacks. We only lost 2. Chris Boyd, I think out of this whole list, even including Troy Dye, I think Chris Boyd has the toughest chance to actually make this team.
Toughest road ahead of him.
Toughest road. What do you
just
got?
Like now? I had a tough road trying to name those corners off the top of my head.
Yeah, that was
all right.
Write that down maybe next time.
Let's go to James Lynch, the D tackle, the man who's supposed to provide all this interior pressure in 4-3, getting after the quarterback. We saw some flashes, but not many of them from James Lynch, the ginger snap.
Still only 23 years old. I would have guessed he's probably like 25, 26 at this point, but he is a young ginger snap. And again, we did it in a previous episode. It looks like Ed Donatel likes to keep, and same with Mike Pettin, 5 defensive linemen seems to be their number. So numbers will be the issue. But James Lynch, this might be his moment. He was meant to be a 3-4 defensive end. Let's see what this guy has. Get after that quarterback. Boom.
Yeah, I just worry how he holds up against the run on the outside, because that's really what you want to do in the 3-4.
Probably
You want to set that edge. Don't let anybody get around you. I know when he played in Baylor, he was just constantly going after the quarterback, lining up out there. I think to me, this really depends on how much 4-3 are they going to play, because him inside being that penetrator, I do like that role for him. And, you know, I've seen some of the most beautiful bull rush I've ever seen in my life from the ginger snap when he took down Russell Wilson a couple years ago. So he has the ability, hasn't had a whole lot of opportunity. To me, this is probably the guy who is wavering the most right on that edge, where I think he's probably going to get kept on the edge. I'm going to say 55-45. That's how close it is.
A lot of draft profiles, I went back and looked back, said in the NFL, James Lynch needs to be a 3-4 end. This is his chance. Come on, Edward Donatel. Let's do it. Make him a star.
Make him a damn star. That would be amazing. We want stars made this summer down in Egan. All right, last player is wide receiver BC Johnson. BC returning from the injury. He's ready to roll. He's looked good in camp so far, mini camps. BC Johnson, he's definitely a bubble boy.
Bubble boy, and the injury doesn't concern me at all. He's going to come back just fine. Again, like James, BC's only 25. I would have expected him to be actually older. And I think this comes down to Smith-Marset. I mean, if he emerges in camp, I don't see BC. I mean, why would they keep BC over a Jalen Naylor? As long as they got somebody stepping up for that 4, I think BC is Gonzi.
I don't know. We'll see. I think this might be the year the Vikings keep more receivers than we've ever seen. The tight end depth chart is ass. I wouldn't be surprised if they only kept, a couple there. And then you look at maybe they have 6-7 receivers. So I think BC could still sneak in. He's got to play well. They do have young guys that they like. You mentioned Jalen Naylor, but there's Blake Prohl, Thomas Hennigan, our favorite. You got veteran Albert Wilson. They went out and brought in 2. So he's got to compete against all these guys. The numbers may actually be in BC's favor here. To keep another veteran receiver, so who does have a rapport with Kirk Cousins already. So it makes sense to keep him, but if one of these young guys show up, why would you not go with the young guy like you said?
Yeah, I mean, just think when Justin Jefferson was a rookie, they had BC locked in as that number 2 starting wide receiver. Might not have lasted, but BC Johnson belongs in the NFL. It's just a matter, does he belong with the Minnesota Vikings?
Yeah, we'll find out. We'll find out in about a month.
We will. Those are our Bubble Boys. Let's see in the comments. Your Bubble Boys. Make sure to subscribe. We're going to be hot and heavy in these coming weeks. So much news. So much Vikings news. You're going to be sick of us. Probably already are.
And let us know if you've seen Bubble Boy. What would you give it? Stars.
Just looks horrible.
How many stars do you give it? All right. Remember, hit up Liftbridge. Go say hi to him on Twitter. And remember this. Maybe even tell Liftbridge this. Canadians eat more Kraft macaroni and cheese than any other country in the world.